Nintendo just dropped the official Nintendo Switch 2 trailer on Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, and people are shocked. And as a tech geek, I am pretty shocked too, especially with Nintendo's trends of low-end, low-price hardware. This is definitely revolutionary. Now, I know like every single YouTuber on the platform has probably pumped out like 10,000 Switch 2 videos. And while I'm not going to milk them, this will probably be my only one unless this one does super well. I cannot resist talking about the specs because as someone who builds computers, this is my bread and butter. So pretty much I'm going to be going through the specs on the official Nintendo Switch 2 spec sheet right here and giving my opinions and how we can expect to see performance compared to the original Switch. So the size, we're going to kind of skip through all this stuff, but the screen is what shocked me. It's touchscreen, of course. We're going to an LCD screen, so a lot of people like me who have the OLED going back to the LCD screen, but luckily we do have HDR10 support, which will make the colors more vivid. And 1080p, I don't think many people were really surprised by that. If they made it 720p again, I think everyone would have been greatly disappointed. So 1080p was obviously the move. But what I was really surprised by was, of course, VRR, or variable refresh rate, and 120 hertz. I thought maybe that would have been like a docked mode exclusive thing, but 120 hertz for a Nintendo console is pretty insane. Like, we only started seeing 120 hertz on the PS5 and Series X. Like, that's pretty insane to me, especially since this is a handheld coming from Nintendo of all places. And as for VRR, it syncs the frame rate with the refresh rate and it makes it feel smoother. It's a very like high level explanation. As for the CPU and GPU, we got some very descriptive specs right here. We got custom processor made by NVIDIA. Yeah, the same people who make the AI stuff. Now, while I don't think anybody knows what CPU/GPU we're getting, they do say it's a custom processor, so I'm assuming it's not an NVIDIA Tegra like they did with the Nintendo Switch 1. If I had to guess, it's probably an octa-core CPU. It's probably going to be around, I'm assuming since they're going for a higher end system, it's probably going to be paired with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It'll probably be around equivalent to like the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 or Gen 3, or like the Galaxy S23 or 24 in terms of performance. Storage, which is very shocking again, 256 gigabytes UFS. UFS, the high-speed storage. We even saw in the trailer the loading screens were a lot faster in Legend of Zelda. And 256 gigabytes is way more than we had. I thought they would have cheaped out on that, like 64 gigabytes for the base model, and then maybe like a Pro revision would have had 128. But I see Nintendo definitely listened. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi 6. Now video out, another huge shock factor for me. We actually have 4K support at 60 FPS in TV mode, which is very surprising. Everyone was saying like, there's gonna be 4K support on the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm like, you are insane. That is not happening. Nintendo just proved me wrong. We got 120 hertz at 1080p and 1440p. Glad they're supporting 1440p and a maximum 1080p resolution for the screen. Audio, they did brag about their 3D spatial audio. Not too familiar with a lot of audio stuff. It is nice to have more things like an integrated microphone. As for USB ports, this was kind of a weird thing we saw in the teaser that actually surprised me greatly. Like, I didn't think they would have done that. I see they took a page out of Lenovo's book with the Legion Go. They put one at the bottom, of course, for dock mode, and they put one at the top for their accessory camera that they were showing off, and for charging in tabletop mode for like the 2 people who play like that. Audio headphone jack is still here. SD card is still here. Most modern flagships don't even have those things, so I'm glad Nintendo kept them. Of course, this is Nintendo. They're like 20 years in the past. And battery, we did get a slight upgrade, still lithium ion. I'm really excited for solid state batteries since they are a lot better because I'm a big nerd like that. But we did get a battery upgrade that's probably like 1/4 the size. I think the original Switch was like 4,400 milliamps, I think. Now, as for the price, it was pretty clear. $450 for the base unit and then $500 with the Mario Kart bundle. I can see both ways. One, that is very expensive for a Nintendo console. I'm used to seeing them being pretty cheap, like the $200 Switch Lite. And of course, you got your higher end models like the $350 Switch OLED. $450 just for the base console seems like a bit much. I hope Nintendo releases like a cut down variant of the Switch 2 that is more affordable. I'll probably still be buying it, of course, because I love wasting my money, but I can see a lot of people not wanting to buy it because of the high price. But at the same time, this is a very powerful device, a very big leap in performance compared to the original Switch, and it is nice to have like an actual way to game. Like, literally you play games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and the game runs like garbage half the time. And this also allows games to be upgraded like we saw with the Legend of Zelda games. Please let me know what you think of the Switch 2 and the specs and the price down in the comments. I feel like this is going to be a pretty heated debate, So please remain mature. Don't be a baby and throw a fit because someone disagreed with you. This isn't Twitter. And thanks for watching.